Guys, this will be part one of the supercharger install on my '05 Altima SCR that is currently Gen 3 with an LSD. Um, Car just basically full bolt on E85. I never really did a rundown on it. On the first gen, I made 282 with bad O2s because shortly after I did have to change them. I did do another street tune, never re-dynoed it to see the numbers again. I don't care, made 282, that's good enough. Now it's Gen 3 swap because the crank pulley put a hole in the timing cover. I don't know how. Probably the first time anybody has talked about that. So with the battery location, it's pretty straightforward. I already started by putting the eye on the wire. I am running a 0 gauge wire. Materials that you're gonna need. People may have their own ways of doing it, but this is what I'm using. It's just eyes, battery box, of course. You could do just a tray. I personally like the clean look, so I'm just doing that. And here in this box is gonna be the little terminals. This is what I opted for. This is probably the first person that's ever done this, but found out that the Evo's battery bolt down for the battery location is basically the same, this part here. So I'm gonna be mounting this to my frame so I don't have the wire just thrown like everybody else I've seen done this battery relocation, and I've hated that. All they do is just zip tie it some random spot and throw their wire on there. So that's not the way I'm doing it. And I'm gonna show you where I'm mounting this. You can mount this anywhere, or you can do any other way, to each his own. So I'm gonna start by taking out the battery now and get back with you guys. So I'm starting to clean up some wiring harnesses because this car was originally auto, so there is some loose plugs, so that's why I'm taking so long to clean up. But I did start working on this, so for it to fit, I did have to cut this whole corner off right here. Well, probably inch and a half of plastic, and now it's gonna sit right where the stock terminal used to. I do have to clean up all the burrs, so once I do that and mount it down, I'll show you where I did that. And then after that, we'll be jacking up the car, removing the fender liner to run the power wire. Alright, so you can see it is dark now. Reason I took so long is that I wanted to clean up a lot of the wires in my engine bay. So I deleted the plastic piece. You don't have to do that. That's just me. I did have this mounted here just temporarily. I just loosed it back off for while trying to figure this out. But this is just a basic rundown. I think I have more than enough wire in my engine bay. I probably did a little too much, but I can always pull it. What I did, you don't have to do it this way. You can see down there, it's kind of hard, this towel in the way. I used that same harness that I deleted the plastic piece from. I used it and zip tied the new wire to it. I ran it through my hood latch. You don't have to do it there. You can drill a new hole. You can use that this main harness and drill it. I was scared to drill a hole in that. I will be getting another grommet for here, so don't say, oh, eventually it's gonna rub down. I'm just doing this for the video, for the interior now. This is where it is. You can see behind that bracket, well, reinforcement, I guess you can say. I ran it behind that. I already test fitted it. I just have to pull it back through to make it neat. You run it in here. Don't run on top here. You run it right where my fingers are touching. I'm gonna run that all the way through the back. Once you're back here, I'm gonna pass it like right here. And it should come out inside of here. I'm gonna keep it in here because I want to run it in the carpet to my battery box, which is back, well, outside right now, but it's gonna sit here. I did put 2 marks on the carpet where the front edges are gonna be, and I'm gonna drill it here. Trying to figure out what I'm doing exactly, still if I'm deleting the carpet or what, or gonna cut it. But in the meantime, that's how it looks. So I'm gonna get back to running this neat and cleaning up my wires. Next time you guys will see me, I'll have everything buttoned up back up here, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to mount this. So far I'm either gonna use that rev nut I had put in there, or right here I might have to extend the gray plug a little bit. You don't have to do it this way. I'm just doing it this way because I thought it's neater, but the wire also has enough play to set it down. So once I do that, I'll show you guys how I did it. And as for this battery box, in the meantime, because I'm not sure with supercharger if it's going to be cleared or what, using that one hole I drilled and putting it in that stud right there. But if you guys are not waiting for a supercharger and stuff, just go ahead and cut this off and make a little strap that goes right here. Use that one bolt hole and just have to drill another hole. Another thing, the original ground cable, I'm still using it basically. So I cut this off. You can strip and reuse that end, but you can do whatever you want with that. But what I did, the part that bolted to the frame, I bolted it back, took a piece of heat shrink and for the area cut and just sealed it off, so you have a ground from the transmission to the frame still. In the back though, I will be running multiple grounds still from the battery. So next time you see me, everything should be buttoned up and I'll show you how to run basically the cable. So I'm closing off for the night because the little stud basically that I need, well, the piece that I bought that I'm using sits about 2-3 inches too low. So I will be mounting it either with this rev nut that I put in or right here, not sure yet. So the reason it took me so long is that I'm cleaning up all the harnesses and stuff down to the starter wires and stuff. So I'll be mounting it somewhere in between these two. What I need is a 3-inch spacer that I'll be making tomorrow. I'll show you how I'm doing that. In the meantime, I finished up everything. I had to move this bulb and stuff out the way. 0 gauge wire ran in there like I showed earlier, all the way across. I'll need to show exactly where I can. At the moment, it's not ran all the way through the car yet because I think I should have extra cable to pull through. But what I did do is drill the holes and put the rev nuts for the battery box. I also drilled the holes. I just got to get more hardware to mount it tomorrow. That's also why I did close off, because I didn't have more bolts for it. So this all stays the same. I did start to drill holes in the carpet because I did decide I will be just putting it over the carpet because it looks cleaner. Spare tire I even have under here will not fit because I have big brakes, so there's really no point. I might just end up taking it out for weight reduction. It's really just what, 5 pounds, 10, 20 pounds, doesn't matter anyway. But you guys might say, why not put it down here? I didn't want my battery down there because of my subwoofer. It sits right at the point where it is a bit of a pain in the ass to get anything under there. So this is where I'm putting it. 4 holes are already drilled. It's gonna sit somewhere like that, and my carpet's gonna go over it. So tomorrow I'll finish up with running the wire all the way through the car. I've got about an hour left in it anyway. We trimmed this down. It's not pretty yet because there's only so much space we have. And I will be taking this mount out too, because that's part 2 of the supercharger build, is solid mounts and fixing my leaking axle seal that caused because soft mount basically is torn. So I do have front and rear solid already. Just gonna do that one over there and this one. So that's gonna be my part 2. And that's all for tonight. So I'll get back with you guys tomorrow. All right, so we're back at it today. What I ended up doing, because this was sitting a little too low, I got a nice little 2x2 cube. Still got to finish it up. That's going to sit right here. And then, you don't have to do it this way, but it's going to sit somewhere around there. This is going to sit over top. And then I'm going to get some nice chrome bolts to go around it. I gotta go on the road and go get some hardware now. Alright, so finally back after buying some nuts and bolts and stuff. So this is how the engine bay looks. I think personally looks very nice. This is what I did down here. How that looks at the moment. like I said, this fuse box is only temporary for the way it looks. I will eventually get a bracket for it. And fortunately, to get an average size, that original battery tie down is the same width and side length to it. So if you just add another inch to it each side, you get the perfect size for that battery box. So then I ran it through to my fender liner. You guys seen earlier in the video. I still got to put my interior back together, but now I'm working on the battery box mounting and my ground. This is what I'm working with. Saw a little bit of rust in that corner, so I said let me knock it out. But I'm putting my ground right there. I made sure to clean it up. I'm going to try and see if I can clean the backside, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. At the moment, I will be using a 4-gauge wire for my ground until my 0-gauge comes in, and that'll be a second ground I'm adding to the car. I'm going to go install everything and get back with you guys. Alright, so we're finally getting somewhere. The box is mounted and definitely not going anywhere. So what I ended up doing, because you guys saw the 4 holes that I put and my ground wire. For the 4 holes that I did put were those little rev nut things. I have a broken one right here. Yeah, one of these things. So I just threaded the 4 bolts in, printed it on the carpet, and just used a drill and a lighter to burn it to find it, and then that's how I put it in. Now I'm gonna run my power cable and ground in here, put my battery in here, and see if we got power. Right, as you can hear, it's beeping, so you know we got power. So at the moment, I am only running 1 ground, which is, I did show you guys earlier on the wall here. Down here you can see this is just the extra wire I left for play, but I might pull those tighter for my sub and the actual 0-gauge power wire. That's it. That's basically it. I gotta clean up the interior. Reason it took so long, I wanted to clean up my audio wires that I had to redo the other day. So I'm still not even done. I'm in the process of fixing that, but that's not pertaining to the battery relocation. So everything's all back to normal. Car does not have any long start. It doesn't hesitate to start. It just cranks over like it did before. This is how it looks up front. Of course, my intake's a little crooked. I gotta fix that, but this is a little battery post from the Evo, and that's the fuse box. Am I keeping this? So far, yes. This is just for the moment. If I do find another box that I do like, I probably will do that. Either and cut all of these out and run new fuses, but at the moment I didn't want to mess with that. So I did kind of test fit my shaft to make sure that this stuff will clear, and so far will. My blow off valve would sit somewhere right there, and the supercharger light ends like somewhere right here. So I think this should be safe, so I will probably get a bracket made very soon for that. What else? Oh yes, like I did mention, where is it? This is actually the correct size for a bracket that needs to be made. So see, that's the exact size. So just add, like, I would say an inch here or 3 inches to this part right here, so you have an inch to bend and enough to touch the wall basically. But you know, that was actually found by mistake, so that was a good thing to help anybody out. So you know, I hope I get better at recording these stuff, because as you can see, I'm not the best at doing it right now. This is my first video for the Supercharged series. There will be more videos coming out soon. As soon as I get my solid mounts, I'll be doing the mounts. I did front and rear already, so it'll just be the 2 side mounts and a couple other stuff, and then I'll be doing bolting on stuff for the supercharger, and we'll keep moving on from there. So this will be a multi-part series. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.